Hello and welcome everybody to Footy Talk, brought to you by the Listener app. Me, James Graham, and of course, as always, we've got GI and Connor Watson. How are we going, gents?
Good. All right. Not too bad.
Bit tired.
From
Thursday night games are late when you're not playing. That's what I was thinking about it on the drive here this morning. I was like, we just have that much caffeine before you play that you don't even realise. And then it's when you're not drinking it, like last night. But the time we finished, I was, starting to get ready for bed. So it's a good win, though. Happy with that.
Yeah, great win. It's like that in the commentary box as well. You're like, actually, it's past my bedtime. It's good that we've had some great games on a Thursday night to keep us entertained anyway. But on to other news. GI, the Iguana Academy. Big news coming out of there. Can you explain to the listeners what's been happening?
Yeah, so big news coming out. You know, obviously I started Iguana Academy in 2020 and then COVID hit. During that COVID time, I decided to go over to your motherland over in the UK there, Jimmy. But look, it was... the way I see it and the way I want to build up, I'll be looking at Cody Luttrell away from the field, what they do in engagement within the community. And it really, like I was having conversations with my business partners and that, and then it really came to light saying, yeah, these are the guys that I want around All-Stars. These are the two that I want to approach because not only they have a big name, but when they have a big respect in the community where I go to, like it's obviously, some of them are really dominated by Indigenous people. So having these two guys really frees up my time so I can focus on, other things that's happening around in the business world, the corporate world. But the first person I actually approached was our female ambassador in Kennedy Sherrington. Now, I asked her to come to my gala night last year. And the way she got up and spoken was very vocal, not only around the women's game, but, her own tough upbringing, wouldn't say tough, but challenges she had growing up. So, and I just love the way that she held herself, the way she had the room engaged with her. And also, like I said, the fact that she spoke up about what's going on in the game, in the women's game. So, to me, that just shows real leadership with those three. And, end of the day, it was a no-brainer, especially after the All-Stars camp. But like I said, it just frees up my time because since I started, I've been travelling here, there and everywhere. So it gives me time to be at home more. I've got 3 full-time staff now. So, yeah, it's built up really quickly.
That's awesome.
Did it start as a bit of a passion project and then it grown into this?
Well,
it was business, right?
Yeah, I thought I was going to, be around football.
Yeah.
It's no secret that, my struggles are out there to the public. So, I've got nothing to hide anymore and it's out there. And I just really want to educate people about, things that can happen, things that I've been through and how to manage it the best way possible. Obviously, it gets too much, but then I refer them on to the services above me to deal with that. And we've started it up. It came as an idea that I wanted to do something, but it also came through Professor Gordon Parker, who said these simple things to me, and that's got me on this journey. He said, Greg, your story can help change a life or save a life. And that's what got me straight onto it straight away. And this is my sole focus. Yes, I, dip my toe in football and rugby league worlds now and then, especially around Origin, finals time and All-Stars. But, anything major on the calendar coming through rugby league, well then, I get asked to come. But now I feel like I'm in control of my own life, my own destiny and where I want to go. And I guess that's the beauty of it, is having these three on board, having the full-time staff on board. It frees up my time to be at home more. And, sit back and really enjoy what I'm doing.
Onto the football. Roosters had a great win over the Eels last night. A battle-hardened Eels. Roosters coming off a bye. And it's when you think back to round one, the Roosters, bit of soul-searching, Connor, probably fair to say. I don't know whether it was ambushed by the Dolphins, but maybe taken by surprise. But they've despite having a number of key players out, Crichton, yourself, Tupanua, Manu has been in and out of the team, Matt Lodge, Nathan Brown. Tedesco went off pretty early yesterday with the head knock. They're still getting the victories.
Yeah, I thought the boys, that first sort of half was really good. We looked great from the start, started really well. Probably left 3 tries out there, I think, in the first half. So felt like it was going to happen. And then, I thought Brendan had his best game in Roosters colours. He was awesome. Luke Keary was like running the ball and, support play, scored 2 great tries. The boys played really well. The only sort of negative thing was probably the fade out towards the back end. And I know that's where, in the sheds after the game, we'd spoke about what we need to improve on. And it was, staying in the game for the full 80 minutes. And, our defense probably slipped away, and that's how we set up the game, by being strong in defense and not letting them get many yards. And it's unfortunate to lose Ted. The annoying thing about that is now, like, we miss him for next week as
2
well.
weeks?
Yeah. So it's because it's 11 days. We play next Thursday against the Storm. So now we're missing Tedesco for that.
I get it. I guess it is frustrating for everyone, but these new protocols are brought in place to protect people from themselves. Because I'm sure if you asked Tedesco today, I'll play.
Yeah,
and
I like the 11-day rule.
It takes the pressure off him. It can, so he's not sitting there this week or over the weekend going,
"Am I going to be
right? Thursday. Right, I'll I'm going to ignore maybe a headache or feeling not too good. The pressure of almost feeling like you need to return because he is so important. Yes, they've got all the great options at fullback, but Tedesco's the man. I think. Yeah, it's important that we take the pressure off players and it's out of their hands.
100%. We get Manu back next week. Sorry, GI.
That's all right.
Yeah,
go for it, man.
We get Joey Manu back next week too, so he'll probably just slot straight back into fullback, I'd say, and then Joey Suali'i will go back to the centres. He looked good last night too. I thought that was did you, like you being a centre, watching his game last night, did you think that was the best day?
I watched the first 20. I've been travelling, so I was in bed by 9. Sleep.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, I woke up and, I got those, when they do the mini highlights and that, so I watched a bit of that there. And I think that would have done him well to good playing fullback for Samoa in the World Cup. Him doing it over there, getting more experience and about playing there. I know he's played fullback in the juniors but it's a totally different game these days, and you got to be ridiculously fit to do it. So, look, from what I saw and what I've seen from him from the World Cup, there's no doubt if he stayed in the game, he would be eventually one of the best fullbacks in the game running around.
Yep. GI interested to know. I know. Basically every sporting code on the planet was after you. UFC, boxing, soccer, athletics,
AFL.
swimming, AFL. Like
AFL was there.
You were a bit of an athletic freak, which I wish I was blessed with those
you are,
athletic
you are,
ability.
But sell yourself short, buddy.
So you at any point in your career, did you have the phone call or the meeting or the approach from Rugby Australia?
Yeah, I did. Like back home in Maxwell, being up especially in the school, that's all pretty much all I played all the way through. Yeah, there was rugby league, but there was only like we get knocked out in the first stage, maybe second stages in the state. Where Union, we went a bit deeper into the states, the semi-finals in Union. So I have been approached, and I went up there and played. Or travelled to Tweed Heads and played a few rep games in Union and whatnot. But I have been approached a fair few times over, through the school and coming out of school into grade and that. But I guess rugby league was just in my blood. I played all different sports. I tried different things, but I've always been drawn back to rugby league. When I was in Melbourne and that, 2010 saga happened, well, Essendon came over and approached me, and I said yes because I loved Melbourne so much that I wanted to stay there and around.
True.
Then I found out how many Ks they run, and I went, nah. But, you know, when you're looking at Union, you know, there's more technical rules around it, more technical stuff within that. But, you know, it just comes back to where I was passionate about, what I would have loved doing, where would I get the most kicks from.
Yeah.
You know, all my family played it, and you know, I remember going to Dad's football training Tuesday, Thursday, and then I'll ball boy for him on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I grew up with that, and just going around, and you know, by the time I was 10, I was running around with the first graders up there, just probably training from under 18 to first grade, just playing touch as they warm up, or you know, as you do as a kid, kicking around, and you know, it was just always going to go back to league.
Yeah. So when you had those approaches, you just shut it down straight away and say, "Oh, look, I love my rugby league, and I've got no interest in playing the other code."
Yeah, I wouldn't say I had no interest, but you know, yeah, pretty much. I sat back and you know, just I hear it and then go straight out the other ear. So you know, there was a time there where I actually did sit back and think about it. But then I just didn't, because I had the opportunity to come down and play for the Randwick with me cousin, and so, but again it just didn't interest me. I didn't look too far into it. I was probably more looking at a way of playing with my cousin in Union.
Yeah.
But in the day, you know, it was always coming back to the league, always coming back.
Did you ever flirt with it?
There we go.
Like
Bath
in England? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Bath with Burgess.
Sail?
No.
Sail
I wouldn't. I would like to have tried my hand at football or soccer, but I was unfortunately born with 2 left feet, Connor, and I'm right-footed. So
Same here, Jim.
you do the math.
Yes.
No. Rugby was never an option. School, all we did was play soccer. So I was the outcast. I was
Were you the goalkeeper?
I did play a little bit of goal, centre defence as well, midfield, box to box. But I was known in school as the egg chaser. Because, literally the only person that played any form of rugby, whether it league or union. No one else played it in my school.
I've never heard that term before. Egg chaser.
Yeah. Well, if you think, for them, that's how they didn't know anything about the game. For them, that's what it was. Like they just, you know, there wasn't as much publicity, and sport context wasn't as large as it is now. So it's just like they'd sort of seen it briefly. And it's like, all you lads do is just chase an egg. Like, okay, well, if that's how you sum it up, then fair enough. But Moses Suley, one of the most bizarre and casual interviews you are ever likely to hear. Let's have a listen to what he said this week.
We got the same manager. My manager let me know that he was looking to come here. From what my manager said, he didn't want to come. He loved it over there mainly. But yeah, I was in the same situation as well. I didn't want to come here, but I got to do what's best for me and what's best for my footy. And yeah, I guess he's coming to do the same thing. So hopefully he comes, has a crack, and yeah, hopefully he does well.
Thoughts?
That's got me. I've seen that, I heard it, and I was early in the week. I don't know what's going on down there, but it just shows where the Dragons are at. You know, you got one player saying he's gone there, but he didn't want to go. You got the same player talking about another player saying he doesn't want to go, but he's going. So another thing too is maybe you should get a tee up about media interviews or something, because
it's just unnecessary. It's irrelevant information.
It's nothing.
Just like, you know, in that situation, you just say, "Oh, look, I'm really excited for him to be here. You know, he's a good kid at Manly. We got. Don't even.
I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Yeah, looking forward to playing with him.
Done. But again, it's like I think I said to you boys before, it just shows where the Dragons are at the moment. You know, I don't know. I'm still thinking about how did that even come to air.
Mate, someone told me about it and I didn't believe them. I was like, mate, you're joking. You're joking, mate. I don't believe you.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Could be one of those new AI, like deep fakes.
Deep fake. Yeah, that's what you got to blame it on. It's a deep fake.
That's what I'd be saying if I was him.
Yeah,
it's a deep fake.
It wasn't me. It's just a deep fake, mate. And I've said this before. Like, It's the fans you feel sorry for because they know they're doing it tough. And the fans there know that the club are an easy kick, an easy pile on. But what you don't do is make life more difficult for you, especially away from the field. Like as a club, as a group, you know, the atmosphere there now. Just hang on, like how easy is it fan to like? How do you expect your fan to turn up? And you got a guy saying, like, I didn't really want to come here. Like, you know, and you know, perhaps if in a bit more detail, Moses Suley might say, well, look, I wanted to stay at Manly, but I didn't get an opportunity there. But
just came out wrong.
Came out
you
wrong. Just never see. You just, I don't see the point in saying that. Like, he's been there for over a year now. Like,
yeah.
Or even expand on it and say, I didn't, but it's great.
I know, there's not much you can say.
Or even like, you know, I had my reservations, blah, blah, blah. I came down, and it's great. I'm looking forward to welcoming me here. You know, it's a great club.
Shut up shop. That's it.
Oh, just boggles the mind.
You need to get down there and media train them, Jim.
Maybe we do. Maybe we do.